What's up, everyone? My name is James and I am the Angry Camper. Today I am doing something that's kind of different, and it's not going to be a build video, so to speak. It's going to be more of a here's what I plan on doing, here are some of the steps I took, and here's the finished product. So let's take a look. So my good friends over at 4-Wheel Drive Adventure Crew, and I will link them either down below or somewhere over wherever. I'm going to be working on Tanya's Jeep from 4-Wheel Drive Adventure Crew, which is the kitchen Jeep. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to ditch what she had and we're going to build a whole entire new kitchen setup. So let's take a look at what she has. So this is the back of her, I want to say this is a 99 Cherokee XJ. And right now I've stripped everything out of it. We did a rear seat delete so far. That's all gone. So the plan is this. We're going to do 2 full 30-inch slide outs. That'll give us 5 feet of countertop space that comes out all the way to the end of the swing arm. On top of that's going to be the refrigerator here. Whoop. Then over on this side here, we're going to have a big drawer. Whoop. And below that drawer, there's going to be a tray, which is going to be a tray to, use as a cutting board or as a preparation station or whatever you want to call it. What we're also going to do, we're going to do a full wall across the back to where we can have storage up top here. And then we're going to have place to keep hot water, place to keep all kinds of stuff. And around the other side here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to build a divider that comes up, tilts back like this, comes about here, and then gonna cut all the way across to the wall that we put here. And under here will be storage for sleeping bags, for extra blankets, for the walls for her awning, and some other stuff. Over there on the bottom, on the floor, I'm going to run the entire solar setup there. So I'll do the battery, I will do all of her fuse box and everything over there, and then this will all just be extra storage. On the top section, there's actually going to be a railing that's going to go around here to where she can throw stuff up here, have some tie downs up here, and be able to have a divider that goes across the whole back wall. An organizer, I mean. So the first step is going to be to build the base that will house the drawers and the pullouts. So here we go with that. So the first step was to actually build a platform, and as a cabinet maker, this is how I did it, like a face frame. So I got some strength, I got a little bit of a cutout here. There's some strength, and then I'll build up the sides from here for the drawer, and then I'll build up the sides for the refrigerator over here. All right, so spend a little bit of time here gathering thoughts and changing plans. So I took out the base that I had and I completely rebuilt it because I didn't like the way it was. It didn't come over this hump enough, so I built a frame like this instead. So the idea is to get a base down first and then build everything up from that. Now in this particular build, I've got a fridge that's going to slide out and down. And so as I do that, I have to make sure everything kind of works around it. So I've kind of got that kind of set up. So I know my side for here, and then now I'm going to make the drawer that goes here with a tray that's in the bottom of it. So here we go. Okay, so I've gotten to the point now where I have the box for the fridge, for the drawer, and everything set up here. Okay, so the fridge will sit on top of this, and this is going to be the drawer with a table underneath it. So my next step is going to be to position the hardware where the hardware is going to go, and then that way I can build the drawer and the slider underneath it. So this is the next step. So the fridge slide, which is here, is actuated by the slide, and when the fridge comes down, it will tilt up like this to bring the fridge down to your level in the car. Well, unfortunately, after getting it into the car and testing out the fridge sliding drop down, it's just still too tall for someone shorter than me, I'm 6 foot, to actually get into it. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna just put the fridge onto this, cut this out, cut that off. Fridge will sit here, and I'll still have another cooking area out here, but that'll just drop the fridge down to where both Tanya and Katja can get into it. So I'm gonna do a little modification of this thing and keep going. So at this step, I'm actually going to be using a iron to iron on edge banding for the countertops that will be pulling out of the front of this thing. So at the front, there's a countertop right here, and then another one right here. So I'm going to be doing some iron on edge banding real quick, and I'm just going to set this camera down here, and I'll edge bend this for you real quick. There you have it for the countertops. So this is not the original plan that I had. The original plan actually had the refrigerator that was going to be up and on a tilt down, but that just didn't work because of the trays. So now it's just basically a slide out with another one to cook on. So that's still quite a bit for a little stove, and then to put a few items around here. So there's that. And then we have a 30-inch work surface here, and then a huge drawer that is the size of Miami. I think that a lot of stuff can go in this thing. It is quite wild. It's huge. So yeah. So the next phase that I'm going to do now is start to work on the front section to get that kind of started, so I can get the wall in, and then I can kind of figure out how am I going to carpet this thing. So yeah, here we go. So now that the back is pretty much set, I'm not going to button it all up by putting all the screws in the drawer glides yet. I'm not going to, tighten all that up yet until I make sure that everything I've got planned for the front actually works out. So the plan here is I'm going to do a full plywood wall all the way up this whole thing to block this off, and then I'm going to run a shelf out from it and then down to the floor, so that they can have a place to put bigger stuff. So the next part is to actually cut out a wall for the back of this thing. And I don't know if you really catch this all the way on this or not. Let me go over here. So basically we're creating an entire wall back here. And then that, so once we get this in here, I'm going to bring our platform out and then down, and that'll be storage up here. So yeah, now we're on to this. Here we go. Let's cut it out. So this is where the front is at this point in time. It is now morning on the 3rd or 4th day of working on this project. Very time consuming because you have to fit every single part individually. So this is kind of where it's at. So this is going to be cut out for access through the side. We have our battery that's going to be stored here. We got our nice cut around our hump in the middle there. And so there's going to be, this will be wrapped in carpet. This will be wrapped in carpet. This will be wrapped in carpet. There will be a piece here that'll be wrapped in carpet that will also have a piano hinge from this way, so that this here will hinge up and out of the way to access all of this storage. The same thing will be on the other side, and then we'll have our battery. And on the other side, let's walk around over here real quick. So over here, we'll do our battery isolator, and we'll have our fuse box over here. And so then I'm going to mount the battery here where it's in the center of the car, because that's a pretty heavy lead acid battery. And then I will make a tray that will attach here. Also, this will be cut out for access over here to reach in without having to open the top. So our next step is going to be to wait for the carpet to get here so I can carpet everything and then start putting it all together. All right, so I don't know where I was at when I was last filming, so we're just going to start here for right now. So my next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure all the hardware for the drawer glides, which is basically going to be I'm going to use these through bolts right here, and these will actually go through the entire drawer. I don't know if you really see that, to give it some strength, because obviously the little screws here are not going to get a lot of strength. So I set up my drawer glides to where they're going to miss each other. So I got one on the top and one on the bottom. And so these will go in between, and we'll go here, and that will be those. Meanwhile, let's take a look over here real quick to the so meanwhile we have this scenario going. This is getting cut out, as I may have mentioned before. There's a flat piece going to go here, a flat piece going to go here. I'm just about ready to pull all this out and carpet it and then mount the battery. So the battery is going to mount here in the middle. I'm going to slide it back to this point over here. And then I can use one of the old seat belts for a ground. And yeah, so let's tear this out. Let's get these chopped out and start some carpeting process, because I'm ready to carpet and then do some good assembly here. So let's go. So a little update on where we're at right now. The build process has been going good. I have now began to carpet some of the items. However, I did run short on carpeting, so oops on me on that one. So we'll take a look at this. Is the front section so far. Still need to carpet this guy, and there's going to be a couple flip ups there. So anyways, this is the front section so far. Check it out. Boom, it'll tuck in like that. That'll tuck just behind there. This is just a piece where it's just a piece. Here's our electrical. I mounted the battery down so that it can't move, and that is glued and screwed, and it's bolted to the frame. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere. That is a heavy lead acid battery, which I would not suggest for something like this, because that's like 65 pounds and a regular battery's like 25 for a lithium iron phosphate. Here's our electrical system right here. Oops. This is where we're at electrical. We got our nice grounds. We got all of our isolator, our little fuse box, which we can add more, like a lot more stuff to it. So that's cool. And so that's the front section. We've got our wall in. Now let's take a look at the back. Now in the back, we got the fridge strapped down. Pretty good. Obviously, you know, these guys, fridge comes out. So then we'll, you know, cooking surface, fridge. Boom, our big drawer in this. So this is kind of how the box started. There is going to be a front on here, so stay tuned for the front. And yeah, I'm getting pretty happy with this thing so far. Anyways, so I'll check back with you when I finish the rest of the carpeting, which will be soon. We are back here in this, doing the last final wrapping of all the component pieces that we're going to put together for the seat delete for the XJ. So I'm just going to go through and just film just me putting the wrap on this. I am no expert at this. I'm just kind of getting started with this, so here we go. So what I will say is that if there's any issues with any of this like peeling or getting funny, I do have a stapler that is for upholstery that I can use to staple some things to this. I hope that doesn't need to be happening, but we'll see what happens. Okay, well, it is now finished, except for a few little touches. When Tanya gets the Jeep back, she'll figure out what she likes and what she wants to add to it. So let's take a look at the back of it. So here's how the back ended up. We've of course got our fridge, right? So that's pretty cool. Table for our stove, so that's pretty cool. Let's pull out really far. And we have our drawer, which is a monster. This is a monster freaky drawer. This is great. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then of course, you know, we've got the huge table that comes out from that. Let's take a look on the inside now. Close this back up. So now on the inside, I've got it to where you can shove stuff underneath and then access from there, or you can lift up and access from here. Now, of course, I think what's necessary here is going to be some D-rings screwed down, and then some of the lashing straps. And I think she's also going to do one of those nets with all the, or maybe not a net, but a pocketed, like one of them shoe pocket things that goes across there. That way you can keep a bunch of stuff in there. But yeah, so that's how it's going to work. That's the deal. So that's going to wrap up this video, and I'd like to just throw out a few things in conclusion. When it comes to putting something like this together, I think one of the most important things to think of is what stuff are you bringing and where's it going to go? Because I tried to have storage, a prep area, a cooking area, and then the refrigerator and somewhere to possibly serve your food. So keep in mind the things that you take with you so that you can build somewhere to put those items, and then have at least a pull-out tray for your stove or for your sink for when you go to do dishes. Really hope that you've enjoyed kind of this thought process video of how we put this thing together and how it all worked out. There will be a video coming up that will detail a full tour of all the different mechanics and all the different things that are on the Jeep. So thanks for watching. We appreciate you spending your time, checking this out. If you liked the content, go ahead and give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. And until the next video, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.